Welcome to the Job Shop Show, where we talk with the owners, suppliers, partners, and customers of custom manufacturers. Listen and learn the secrets of top-performing job shops, the tools, techniques, and backgrounds that have made them successful, all in the quest of raising the bar for custom manufacturing. I'm your host, Jay Jacobs. This episode is sponsored by Paperless Parts, connecting buyers and suppliers of custom manufactured parts. The Paperless platform is a secure, ITAR-compliant, cloud-based manufacturing system for suppliers that reduces the amount of time spent on sales, estimating, quoting, administration, and order processing. It offers seamless integration with the accounting and ERP software tools that shops already use, such as QuickBooks, E2, and JobBoss. Paperless Parts was founded with a mission to make manufacturing more accessible by streamlining the quote-to-cash process. Spend less time quoting and more time selling.
This episode is sponsored by our friends at the NTMA, the National Tooling and Machining Association. The NTMA is an association of privately held, entrepreneurial-based, and family-owned businesses representing nearly 1,200 small to mid-sized machine shops and tool and die shops across the country. They have approximately 30 very active regional chapters that host local events, run apprenticeship programs, and provide other services to their regional members. As an association of peers, the goal of the NTMA is to help members of the U.S. precision custom manufacturing industry achieve profitable growth and business success in a global economy through networking, workforce development and training, technology, best practices education, advocacy, programs, and services with industry partners. To learn how your company can get involved with the NTMA, including how to join, visit ntma.org.
Shazam! This is Jay Jacobs. Welcome to a special edition of the Job Shop Show. We were recently at Paperless Parts 2025 Power User Conference, which brought together over 250 of the country's most progressive shop owners and their team members. Not only did they have a chance to hear about the latest from Paperless Parts, they had 2 days to network with their peers. It really was a privilege to be present and overhear the exchange of cutting-edge ideas, strategies, and philosophies discussed between attendees. And we took the opportunity to chat with a bunch of them, asking them each the following 3 questions. What is your outlook for 2025? What has been your biggest takeaway from the Power User Conference? And if you had $500,000 magically given to you that had to be spent before the end of the month, where would you put that money to work? Here are the answers, straight from them. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Justin Quinn with Focused on Machining. We're just outside of Denver, Colorado, and I'm the president and owner.
Justin, what's your outlook for 2025?
For us, the outlook has been very high. 2024 was a struggle for us, a down year, and almost immediately, end of 2024, beginning of 2025, business really picked up drastically, and we are working with our customers on many multi-year projects. So my outlook for 2025 is extremely high and going forward as well.
That's awesome. You're here at Power. What's your biggest takeaway?
Up until this point, I would have said it was the bomb builder, but now that we just came out of the roadmap, I would say just so excited for the development that you guys are continuing to do. Pulling GD&T out of prints and specification is unbelievable, because those are the things that trip us up. Those are where we make our mistakes in estimating. So to see your guys' investment into the product and continuing to dive deeper into helping us read blueprints and understand is where I get really excited, and just happy to know that I'm with a great partner that's going to continue to invest in the product and make it better going forward.
Thank you. If you had an extra $500,000 and you had to spend it by the end of May, where would you put that money to work?
Automated 5-axis.
Why?
I feel like, considering the skills gap, labor shortages, that machine can do so much work inside an envelope with minimal interaction with a human. Of course, you've got to have a highly skilled programmer operator to run it, but going the automation route, I feel like one good qualified candidate could allow that machine to run 24/7, possibly 7 days a week with the right amount of time.
Thanks for taking a couple minutes with me. Good to see you as always.
Likewise, thank you.
Hi, my name is Peter Doyle. I am the CEO of First Precision. We're located in Frederick, Colorado, just north of Denver.
Peter, what's your outlook for you and your shop in 2025?
This year is in line with last year. So far, we're seeing an increase, but I do think there's some economic uncertainty that our customers are facing. We anticipate this year to be slightly up, and we anticipate that trend will continue.
You're here at Power. What's your biggest takeaway?
I think we all enter into the workforce in the middle of a river of technology. And one of the things that's been really nice, having worked with Paperless Parts for many years, is we get to see kind of a movement develop. One of the things that I've always appreciated about Paperless Parts is the way they make sure to develop products with practical impact. And I think the way the Paperless Parts platform has developed clearly demonstrates how technology can truly be a win and save IT time.
Excellent. And now here's a fun question. If you had an extra $500,000 and you had to spend it by the end of May, where would you and your shop put it to work?
You know, I actually have a long list on shopping items we would purchase. We would put it into capital equipment. We'd build a little redundancy in our assets, and we try to hold even tighter tolerances than what we do. We are looking at extending not just our automated machine capacity, but also adding new capabilities that might allow us to hold tighter tolerances.
Such as?
Grinding.
Huh. Do you sub out grinding now, or?
We do.
So you'd bring that in-house?
Yeah.
Potentially. Great. Well, Peter, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Thanks.
Hello, my name is Eric Henderson. I work for Engage Industrial Solutions out of Mansfield, Texas, and my role is project manager and senior estimator.
Eric, what's your company's outlook for 2025?
Outlook, very good. We've seen quite a few old customers returning, looking for new stuff, and quite a few new customers.
Great. You've been here at Power for a day and a half. What's your biggest takeaway?
I'm really interested in working with the new software in the AI aspect. It interests me, so the Bomb Builder is one of the biggest reasons why I came.
Really?
Look at implementing that in our software.
Excellent. And if you and your shop had an extra $500,000 and you had to spend it by the end of May, where do you think you'd put the money to work?
If I had $500,000 to put towards anything, it would probably be towards training and cross-training.
Really? And what sort of training?
Updating some of the training on our, not just the estimating side of it, but also our laser plate processing, our sheet metal forming, and CNC machining.
Gotcha. Great. Well, thanks for taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My name is Emily Anderson. I work for Method Manufacturing in Austin, Texas, and I am in operations.
Emily, what's your company's outlook for 2025?
We are positive about 2025, looking at the changes in leadership in some of the work in aerospace and defense. So seeing the new CEO at Firefly, the new CEO at Axiom, and their big pushes into getting those programs really kicked off and making progress on those.
Huh, interesting. You've been at Power for about a day and a half now. What is your biggest takeaway?
The biggest takeaway we have would be that we are really looking forward to seeing the AI tools roll out. We use AI in our shop all the time, automation, and so to have our programs that we're using and our software products be aligned with that is really a positive thing for us to look forward to.
Any particular AI program that you saw that you're really excited about?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to the GD&T rollout.
Okay.
I know my quality guys will
Yeah.
be happy to hear that. They've got some support there. So.
Excellent. And if you and your shop had an extra $500,000 and you had to spend it by the end of the month, end of May, where do you think you guys would put the money to work?
We would probably put the money towards additional automation. We currently run a few automation cells, and we have our eye on the larger cells, so we would probably put it there.
When you say automation, are you talking robots or are you talking pallets?
we use Hermela's HS Flex system, which is like kind of like a combination of robots and pallet.
And so that's worked out well for you, and you continue
It's been a huge thing for us. We're able to run 24 hours unassisted.
Wow.
It's perfect.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
Thanks.
Brandon Brooks, company Welltech Industries in Phoenix, Arizona. We have a machine shop in Phoenix and a fabrication shop in Tempe. And I am the president and CEO.
Brandon, what's your outlook for 2025?
I think our outlook for 2025 is cautiously optimistic. We had a really good year in 2024. A couple of projects are coming offline, so we're going to have to develop some new business in order to continue our growth trend. But it's steady so far. Really good Q1. Backlog is shrinking up.
Excellent. Excellent. You've been at Power here for a day and a half. What's your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway is the opportunity to collaborate with users is just so valuable. Learning how other people in their businesses are leveraging the different tools, seeing what's coming downhill on the product roadmap, developing relationships with people that I'm constantly in meetings with virtually, but to be with them in person is really valuable, I think, at broadening deeper relationships.
So what I'm hearing, I think, is interacting with the team at Paperless as well as meeting other shop owners and peers?
100%. Yeah, very valuable. This is probably the best conference we attend.
And fun one, if you had $500,000, $500,000 to spend by the end of the month, where would you put that money to work?
That's a great question. If I had $500,000, I would probably put it in people at this point, really trying to level up the people we have on our team. There's some equipment on our wish list. There's some additional software on our wish list, but people is what's going to make our company great, and we need to make more investments in people.
So hiring more people or training or?
I'd say hiring more people, but hiring more executive level people to help drive this business forward. With the CUI and the CMMC, like some of the takeaways is like I need to consider maybe a CTO for my business to make sure this tech stack is integrated properly. I need to look at maybe an estimating and customer service manager in our business as our sales team continues to grow. I take on that role, or I manage that role. I don't have a CFO. I'm doing all of those things, and my power is business development and connecting with people. And when I'm stuck in the business instead of getting out of the business, it's hurting our ability to grow.
Thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Ryan Hostetler with General Stamping and Metalworks from South Bend, Indiana. I'm the digital director.
Ryan, what's your company's outlook for 2025?
Cautiously optimistic.
Okay. Why cautiously optimistic?
Still lots of uncertainty with this markets and business outlook for our customers.
Okay. That's going down to you.
Yep.
Okay. You've been here at Power. What's your biggest takeaway from the event?
Power helps definitely feel the community of manufacturers, and that while we're all different businesses, we all have a lot of the same problems that we're trying to solve. And so it feels like the Power Conference is looking at the industry, not just the quoting and estimating side of things.
Have you made a lot of connections with folks at other shops?
Yeah, it's been good talking with a number of different people from around the country and seeing different perspectives on things.
And I want to ask you also, as in your role as digital director, what does that mean? What are you responsible for?
I oversee our IT, so both the software implementation, software usage, and hardware networking, so a little bit of everything related to IT.
Finally, sort of a fun question for you, hopefully. If you and your company had $500,000 and you had to spend it by the end of the month, where would you guys put the money to work, do you think?
So we probably put it into some of our machine integrations for real-time data collection improvements.
Is that something you're actively looking at now?
Yeah.
And why there as opposed to other areas?
That's what we're really looking for additional information on our machine utilization and production capabilities to help feed back into our quoting and estimating side of things. So making sure we are keeping on top of changes in equipment are reflected in our quoting capabilities.
Right, to create that continuous feedback loop.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Yep, thank you.
Hi, my name is Alex Enriquez. I'm an estimator at Athena Manufacturing.
Alex, what's you and your company's outlook for 2025?
I think it looks really promising, and in an economy that's hard to really understand the playing field. But I think that with jobs coming back to America, I think it looks very promising.
Excellent.
Manufacturing in particular.
Good. And where are you guys located?
Austin, Texas. Very
Austin,
proud.
Texas. Yeah. You've been here at Power. What's your biggest takeaway?
I'm floored. I have not been using Paperless for more than since July, but using other systems and stuff, it has given me the ability to really open my eyes, and they make it really easy to understand the product. There's a definite integration there that makes it easier for you to understand the product, what you're trying to accomplish, ease of quoting in my case, and stuff. Working with the vendors, working, like outside processing, anodizing, and things that you don't necessarily do under your own four walls or under your roof kind of thing. So it's been amazing, and especially the friendliness, the environment here. People are very outgoing, sharing ideas, etc.
And let's hypothetically say you had $500,000 and you had to spend that money in your shop before the end of the month.
Okay.
Where do you think you and your shop would put that money to work?
At this moment in time, given the conversations that I've had in the last 2 hours and knowing what I know and stuff, I would like to see more stuff money-wise go into streamlining the quality processing, like the quality inspection portion of things out on the floors, making it easier to deliver that information in a more streamlined way, so that everybody has accessibility to it, making an electronic file, etc., so it doesn't become somebody's or so proprietary to one person. It's just everybody's eyes. It's more of a universal language.
Is that more of a software or hardware implementation?
I believe it's more of a software thing.
And is that something you guys are looking at, or is it something?
Well, we're talking about it right now and stuff like that. We like I said, you had mentioned, what do I see right now in the future and stuff like that. I see, for me, our company, our Athena and stuff, we're very excited about the potential of working with all these different industries, not just one or two, or and the sky's the limit. To be honest, there's so much ability to build stuff, to manufacture stuff, and to take it that much further and grow the company.
Excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
My name is Jeff Kalinowski. I'm with Electrometrics and EM Metals. We're located in Johnstown, New York. I am an estimating engineer for the company. Just started with them, been there about 6 months with them now. Prior to this, I've had 30 plus years in manufacturing and heavy fabrication machining, so it's an industry that I love, and excited about Paperless. I've been using them since I've been there.
Great.
I'm blown away by what they have to offer and the integration with everything else that they're doing. So it's a very impressive thing.
Oh, thank you. What's you and your company's outlook for 2025?
2025, our objective is to 30% more sales.
30%?
30%.
That's pretty aggressive.
It is very aggressive. So last year, we doubled last year.
Okay.
So which we went very aggressive and hard into stuff. So now we're just trying to step it back a little bit and shoot for an achievable goal, 30%. And we have great backing, we have a great owner, and they're setting us up for success.
Excellent. What is your biggest takeaway from Power?
I'm blown away by the integration of other companies that are joining them to improve what we do, how we do it, and the speed that we do it.
Any particular companies?
Even what they're doing with ThyssenKrupp, with online metals, with various companies like that, where it makes it quoting and estimating much easier because it's all right there in front of you. Not having to jump around, sending out RFQs outside of the system, being able to work inside of there is incredible.
And let's say you and the company had a hypothetical $500,000 you had to spend before the end of the month. Where would you guys put that money to work?
I would probably invest it in some new machine tools.
Yeah?
Honestly, yes. Yeah.
Anything in particular?
My choice would be I'd like to have a large vertical turning lathe. Yes. Yeah. We have some other stuff now, but
a vertical turning lathe.
Yes. Yeah. Not a horizontal, something vertical. So companies I've been with in the past where I've done big aerospace stuff. We've had stuff 20 foot in diameter.
Yep.
On stuff. So I don't necessarily think we need to go that big, but something to get us, going in that direction.
Excellent. Well, Jeff, thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
My name is Nathan High. I work for PBZ LLC. They're a manufacturing company. They're based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm the sales manager.
What's your outlook for 2025?
2025, it's looking good for us. We got a lot of work in the pipeline. We got customers asking about reserving capacity and things like that. So we're buying some machinery. We're pretty bullish on the market right now.
Excellent. What's your biggest takeaway from Power?
Just a ton of smart people. There's a lot of networking going on. A lot of great ideas being thrown around. Very, very future driven. Very, very innovative. Want to know what's going to look like coming down the pipeline. It's pretty awesome.
Excellent. And let's say you had a hypothetical $500,000 to spend, you and your company, before the end of the month. Where would you guys put that money to work?
Space. Need more space.
Yeah?
More square footage. Yep.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
It is. We're busting at the seams. We're trying to kind of get cute where we can, but we just need some more space. It's a great problem to have, and then you just need the customer and the work to back it up, but 25 is looking good.
Excellent. Thanks for taking the time, Nathan.
No problem. Take care.
Perfect.
My name is Ted Mathern. I work at Lathrop Machine Shop. We're down in New Orleans, Louisiana. My role is manufacturing specialist within the company. Just look at manufacturing processes, and I've been involved with the rollout of Paperless.
What's you and your company's outlook for 2025?
The company continues to grow. We expect the same growth. A lot of new products. We are in the market of conveyor belts and moving product from A to B, but also sorting products. So very heavy in the postal and Amazon shipping services.
Gotcha. What's your biggest takeaway from Power so far?
Certainly the bomb builder has just been rolled out. We haven't used it. Our company's implementing Paperless. We go live in May 19th.
Yeah.
So the bomb builder and what it looks like, what's to come with the GD&T, how it analyzes the drawings, looks pretty powerful.
Excellent.
And just talking to different users who use the product, it's been nothing but good feedback and time savings, which we would expect. It sounds like it's what was being done in weeks is now being done in days, or hours is now nights.
Let's say you had a hypothetical $500,000 you had to spend before the end of the month. Where would you and your company put that money to work?
Certainly, I think technology. What could be done more with AI? Like yesterday's conversation with data pool. I think it's data pool. What can we look at? How we quote a drawing compared to what methods we would use on other comparable type parts.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time to chat with me.
All right, thank you.
This is Jonathan McFriedel with Black Mountain Manufacturing in Colorado, and I am the president owner.
Excellent. Good to see you again, John. What's your outlook for 2025?
Outlook for 2025, I'll be pretty transparent. It's a bit of a rebuilding year for us. Last year was a very difficult year in terms of like market contraction. We had a few clients go out of business, some of our larger clients. So we're kind of in rebuilding mode in terms of rebuilding our customer base. We've also spent the last year building a relatively new business model that involves instant online quoting. So we're putting a lot of resources into driving revenue and traffic towards that and just kind of executing that new business model.
You have been to Power for about a day and a half now. What's your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is that I have a lot to learn about, as much as we think we're on the leading edge of implementing the best tech for our shop, I still have a lot to learn about some of the newer tools that are out there. And I think the software industry in general as a whole has a lot to learn about the effects that AI is going to have on the whole market. And products are going to need to start to evolve really, really fast. Some of these legacy products to stay up with what new product offerings will start to pop up in the next 2, 3, 5 years. Mm-hmm. But I think the whole landscape of software is going to change dramatically over the next 3 to 5 years. And all of us are going to have to adapt really, really fast to stay on the forefront of it.
Well, along those lines, and this is not a leading question, but if you had $500,000 you had to spend before the end of the month, where would you put that money to work?
Great question. So it's really hard to spend $500,000 inside of a month on one purchase. Like you're talking about a machine, that takes time. If I had $500,000 to spend on a project of my own that I was working on, I would put it towards building more software. I would hire developers, but it'd be hard to chew through $500,000 in a month doing that.
Any pieces of equipment you would add to your shop?
No, honestly, I would say, a press brake would be nice. We have older press brakes, and newer press brake would be great, but I don't think that the impact would be marginal compared to the impact that we could make implementing better systems.
Always good to see you, John.
You as well, Jay. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me on.
Mark Sweeney, Major Tool and Machine. I'm the Vice President of Estimating.
And where are you located?
Indianapolis.
Okay. So what is your company's outlook for 2025?
We're probably at 85 to 90% capacity. We have some long-term, long-running programs. So our difficulty is finding the programs that fit into the open capacity that we have. Mm-hmm. We're part of a larger group, PersimMac.
Okay.
So we're also trying to integrate the other small format companies where we can utilize those to increase capacity.
Okay.
And we also have a large format company, Peterson, out in Utah.
Okay.
And we're trying to bring them up to speed using the same systems that we use at Major Tool and to see if we can't utilize those assets there at Peterson to, again, increase capacity.
Okay. So you think there'll be growth this year?
Oh, absolutely. Especially our focus is aerospace and defense and space.
Okay.
Major Tool primarily does defense, space, and some semiconductor. We don't do really aerospace per se.
Okay. You are here at Power. What's your biggest takeaway so far?
Well, a little bit of background is I started testing paperless parts 2018, and we didn't feel that it was a good fit. So recently, the executives of Major Tool were at the IMTS, ran into some paperless parts people, and asked that I look at it again.
Okay.
And so I'm here more fact-finding. But even back in 2018, I would say that Paperless Parts has always listened and tried to make adjustments to their software, which I'm still impressed with. I got to sit down with 5 of the upper management of Paperless Parts yesterday, Jason Ray even, and they listened to my feedback. I gave them some feedback that I heard anonymously, just sitting around talking to people. And I gave feedback on how it would fit a larger company. Major Tool, being part of Persimac, is now a large business, so we have to flow things down to small businesses that we didn't have to do 5 years ago.
Yes.
So all those DFAR and FAR requirements and the difficulty working with prints that are very complicated, large assemblies, makes it difficult. But they listened, and some of the things that they presented today were to address some of the issues that I had brought up.
Excellent.
So I was impressed with how much they're continuing to listen and try to improve the product.
Great, thank you. Well, let's say you had a hypothetical $500,000 that you and your company had to spend before the end of the month. Where would you put that money to work?
$500,000. Wow, that's not very much.
I can tell you're a large company then.
Yeah, we're currently looking at putting a machine in, and we have to build buildings and things like that. So we're talking millions of dollars. But $500,000, I would say it's actually focusing on retaining and finding good employees. We have a welding and machining training center, so our focus is really just employees.
Okay.
So if I'd say that's probably where we need to spend most of our money right now.
Sounds like a good investment. Thank you for your time.
Oh, absolutely. A pleasure. Thank you, Jake.
Hello, I'm Dustin Drab with Athena Manufacturing in Austin, Texas, and I am an estimating manager.
What's your outlook for you and your shop this year?
Growth. I think reaching into a different workflow. We're doing a lot more assemblies now, so excited for the new bomb builder and branching off more into that business unit.
Yeah. And speaking of the bomb builder, what's the biggest impact that you've seen, the biggest takeaway from the power event?
Probably organizing all the files, just because I can do that all at once from the spreadsheet, well, the spreadsheet screen, or whatever you want to call that, the bomb builder screen.
Yeah.
Being able to just use my zip file, or unfold it, or open the zip file and import all of those files immediately is a huge game changer for us.
Wow. And let's say you had a hypothetical $500,000 that you and your shop had to spend before the end of the month. Where would you guys put that money to work?
Probably in machines. I'm not really the one to make those decisions, but that's where our ownership likes to spend their money, is on new machines and new capabilities.
Any particular machines, capabilities?
That's a good question. We just took on a screw machine. We've got a tube laser and a robot welder. Those are all growing our business very well, so I'm not sure where the next step would be. Probably more machining side of things, maybe 5-axis again, since we have one and could use more capacity there.
Great. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for talking to me.
My name is Joseph Long. Our company is Evans Manufacturing Company, based in Marysville, Washington. And my role is, I call myself production and operations manager, but that doesn't really describe everything I do because we're a smaller shop.
Yeah. What's your shop's outlook for 2025?
I like to tell people that I'm generally pessimistic, but I'm optimistic about myself. So if that makes sense, I see a lot of negative things, happening and potential threats in the economy, but I believe our company's in a strong position to weather some storms.
Yeah. So do you think you will maintain revenue, grow revenue, or it will shrink?
I think at the very least it will maintain. But like I said, I'm very hopeful for myself and for more. Just being a good supplier to people and trying your best to convey to the customer that you do care about doing a good job for them. I believe that yields results over time.
You've seen a lot the last day and a half here at Power. What is your biggest takeaway?
There's quite a few things, but I would say that the thing that I take away is I feel confident that the Paperless Parts team are dedicated to improving their product, and that it's a good bet to be co-travelers with them into the future, so to say, because you're kind of marrying yourself to the product when it becomes part of your business. And so the confidence that they're investing in the future, new ideas, and they're serious about helping you along that path. That's what I take away from it. But it's also kind of just nice to be around people who are excited about what we're doing, manufacturing.
Yeah. If you had a hypothetical $500,000 and you had to spend it by the end of the month, what would you do with the money?
That's a hard question for me to ask. We've upgraded a lot of equipment in our facility over the last 5 years or so, and I'm exhausted with bringing on new equipment, if that makes sense to you.
Sure.
But if I did have to improve anything, I'm surprised how fast my 4 kilowatt laser is no longer, as fiber laser, no longer top technology.
So more wattage?
More wattage, yeah. And I've been, I guess, generally happy with the brand that I've stuck with, but I've thought about looking at other companies as well. Maybe they do things differently, better. I don't know. Just be open to that at least. But that is a tool that is the center of our shop when it comes to our job shop capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, that's where everything starts for us. And so being that it's only 4 kilowatt, I know that that's quite on the low end nowadays. And that happened really quickly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes with me.
Hey, good morning. My name is Jim Fitch. I am with New Way Industries in Des Plaines, Illinois. Elk Grove, actually, now. We're located in a 300,000 square foot plant just on the west side of O'Hare Airport. I'm the VP of Engineering there. We are a custom metal fabricator and integrator. That's our principal focus.
What's your outlook for 2025? What are you guys seeing?
It's a little tough to say. Quote activity has remained steady and strong. Orders are still coming in. I wouldn't say we're seeing an increase in orders, but we're not seeing a decrease in orders either. So it's a little tough to say, going out 6 months, what the landscape may look like. But right now, I would say cautiously optimistic that things are going to at least stay level, if maybe not grow a little bit.
Good. You've seen a lot at Power. What's the biggest takeaway for you?
Well, I have been very focused on customizing our version of this to do a better job of dealing with paper-based quotes. And with some of the AI scrubbing work that Hank and his team have done, you're getting, so just talking to the folks over there about, you're scarily close to being able to get enough of the inputs off of that paper drawing that you could start putting together the driving pieces necessary to make the cost calculations work without having to manually, gumshoe that over from spreadsheets or other calculation tools to get the inputs necessary to drive calculations that are really built to be driven from solid models. So these are the inputs that would come off of a solid model. If in lacking a solid model, now you have the potential for getting most of those bits automatically off the drawing. I think it's kind of scary close.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, let's say that you and the shop had a hypothetical $500,000. You had to spend it before the end of the month. Where would you put that money to work?
Well, since I've been there, I've been pestering them for a tube laser. So tube laser can't be had for $500,000, but that'd be a nice down payment.
Okay.
I think in today's environment, $500,000 against equipment like that, processing equipment, that is, tube lasers used to be kind of unique. Now I think they're kind of, gotta have it, price of entry.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
You're so welcome, Jay. Good to talk to you as well.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Mark LaMancha, Hometown Additive, Hometown Products. We're in Columbiana, Ohio. CEO.
Mark, what's the outlook for you and your company this year?
We're taking flight. It's rising rapidly.
And where is it all coming from?
Well, a lot of it is coming because of the 3D sand printing. It will be for onshoring, and some of that's already starting.
Yeah.
But there are not many tool shops left anymore, and it's easier to not make tooling and to make parts with. For us, it would be 3D sand printing for tooling this.
Right. Of all the things you've seen at Power, what are the biggest takeaways so far?
it's although people don't talk about it a lot, there's still many parts that we're still living in a 2D flat world.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And not the three-dimensional files are coming, but I think the most powerful thing is what Paperless is doing with paper parts. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And your three-dimensional thinking and leadership will take the paper and make it paperless.
Love it. Love it. Well, let's say that you happened upon an extra $500,000 that you had to spend by the end of the month. Where would you put that money to work?
Well, we already are. We're buying more printers.
More printers?
Yeah.
Is there anything else, though, that is on the wish list that maybe is not a printer that would be a good add to the shop?
Well, actually having that ability to quote in under 60 seconds with paper parts and not paperless.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Sure. You're a fun guy.
Thanks. Great. Whenever you're ready.
Hi, my name is Matt Fritz. I work for GTR Manufacturing in Taunton, Massachusetts. We have 2 other locations, one in Brockton and one in Nashua, New Hampshire. And I am the estimating engineer.
All right. So, what's GTR's outlook for 2025? Where do you think that you guys are going?
We keep moving up. We're experiencing decent workflow coming in. We can always use more. We're expanding. We're always looking for new people to come in. We're excited about the Paperless. We've had them, this is our 2nd year now with Paperless, and it's really transformed our quoting process and it's making everything streamlined and working much better.
Excellent. You have seen a lot over the last day and a half at Power. What's your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is I'm really excited about the AI coming into the industry. We're really excited about a lot of the capabilities they're expanding into, and it's going to make our jobs a lot easier. Very excited about the bomb builder rollout.
A lot of people hear AI and they think it's scary or doesn't sound like that's your outlook on it. Why are you welcoming AI as opposed to having some trepidation?
Well, we see AI as freeing up time for us to work on the things that need to be focused on, and allowing AI to take some of the mundane, time-consuming, soul-sucking parts of the job out. And we're not afraid of AI. Their approach to AI is, I believe, a good approach. AI is not making decisions for us. It's giving us options. So, yeah, it's not too scary. It's definitely the way the industry is moving.
Yeah. Hypothetically, if you had a $500,000 that you and your company had to spend before the end of the month, where would you put that money?
We'd put it in capital investments, machines.
Anything in particular?
Me personally, I would go with machining centers, more advanced technology in machining centers.
You're talking 3-axis, 5-axis?
5-axis.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. That'd be a good down payment anyways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, Matt, thanks for taking time to chat with me.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Awesome.
My name's Joe Van Basler. I'm from RCO Engineering, who is based out of Detroit, Michigan. And I'm the Director of Sales and Cost Planning and Contracts.
Joe, what is the outlook for you guys in 2025?
The outlook is a lot of sustainment right now. We've got a really strong customer base, and we want to work on controlling those top 20 customers and retaining those customers. Not a lot of growth on new customers.
You think you will grow in revenue, stay flat, or where are you going now?
We're going to grow, yeah.
Definitely?
Yeah, we're moving from a lot of prototype into production, so there's a lot of growth opportunity there.
Excellent. The show so far, what has been the biggest takeaway from what you've seen?
I think the applicability. I go to a lot of conferences and trade shows, and it's hard to take back what you learn from that and see how you apply it to your regular life. And we're doing it real time here at this conference. My laptop's open with paperless parts open, and we're actually applying learnings right there and things that I can save and bring back to the team, and we can apply directly to our daily business.
Can you give me an example?
Sure, just like I was just in an analytics breakout session, and so we had our laptops open, and I'm building different statistical analytics that I can pull to measure, and we're building out new queries in their live that are very applicable to me, like draft to send time. So how long does it take for me to start a quote and send the quote? Boom, we built it right in there, and I'm able to see the progression of that, and no surprise, that draft to send shows the faster you send it, the more you win.
Yeah, the higher the win rate.
Yeah, and there's a lot of wins like that we've had this week.
Yeah, and if you don't measure it, you don't know.
You don't.
Yeah. Let's say that you and your shop were given a $500,000 and you had to spend it before the end of the month. Where would you guys put the money?
That's a good question. I'd say the first one would be people, labor, if we could. If the labor force was there, we would hire more. That's not really something you can predict necessarily. So secondly, I would say equipment.
Anything in particular?
Yeah, CNC mills is a big area for us. Injection mold equipment, things like that just open up capacity for us. As we move into production, we need to have machines that can be dedicated for long-term projects.
Yeah.
And so more equipment equals capacity.
Yeah.
And capacity equals opportunity. So.
Are you going to go with the same manufacturer equipment that you have now, or are you going to look for something else?
Yeah, typically we know what we like and we just want more of it. So
Yeah.
you want to duplicate machines so you've got more ability, more capacity.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you taking the time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
My name's Paul Becut, Alinaball LLC, located in Milford, Connecticut, and I'm the engineering vice president.
Paul, as you look at 2025, what do you guys see? Is it you're going to grow? Where's the company headed?
I think we're going to grow, a little cautious. We're optimistic just due to what we're doing in terms of growing, selling, and our marketing efforts. But first quarter has been a little sluggish, I think, for many companies. I think tariff impact has caused some companies to pause and delay decisions.
You have been at Power for a day and a half now. What's your biggest takeaway?
Well, we've been a Power user since December of last year, so we've had about 5 months. It's really, no lie, transformed our business. I mean, the way we were quoting, estimating product it's night and day now, so the product's been really beneficial to us. For this conference, today some of the recently launched features, the bomb builder is huge.
Yeah.
And the additional things they're doing in the next 6 months, a year are tremendous.
Anything in particular?
Basically the requirements, scraping the additional information off hard prints, so to easily interpret and understand and execute them. It's going to be great.
If you in your shop had magically $500,000 that you had to spend by the end of the month, where would you guys put that money to work?
At this point, probably it'd be equipment. I think newer CNCs. You know, we've had a changeover in structure in the last few years, and we've had some aging equipment, so certainly newer capital equipment would certainly keep us more competitive.
Are you looking at 3-axis, 5-axis lathes?
Lathes with sub-spindles and pickoffs and extra turrets.
And do you think that would make you more efficient, or what would be driving that?
It really opens up different segments of the markets we serve right now. Heavily into aerospace defense.
Okay.
And there's a lot of products we can't participate in competitively.
Get more work from the existing customers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Hopefully that was painless.
Yeah, it's okay.
Michael Moore, New England Fabricated Metals in Leominster, Massachusetts. I'm the sales and engineering manager.
Great. So, Mike, what's your company's outlook for 2025?
We're looking pretty good. We should probably do 5 to 10% better than last year.
Yeah. And you've been at Power here. What's your biggest takeaway so far?
So my biggest takeaway is employees. We need employees. We're short employees.
Yeah.
Can't find any work. Nobody to want to work.
Huh.
So it makes it difficult. Makes you burn the candle at both ends, which makes it tough.
Sure. And maybe that relates to my last question for you. If you had a magical $500,000 that you had to spend by the end of the month, where would you put that money?
Automation.
Yeah?
AI and talent and help.
Yeah.
So between those.
Anything in particular with the AI and the automation?
Yeah, mostly front end work. Like emails and quotes and purchase orders and organizational skills on the front end of the business would be certainly helpful.
Excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with me, Mike.
Thank you.
My name is Scott Stutzman. I work for Speed Grip Chuck Incorporated. It's located in Elkhart, Indiana, and my role is a inside sales manager.
Great. So, as you look at 2025, where are you guys headed? What's your outlook?
As far as compared to last year,
Yeah.
we're looking for we think we're gonna.
Your sales, are you gonna grow, or are you gonna stay flat?
No, we're hoping we're growing. We're seeing a growth already. We're seeing an increase, so we're hoping we're going to have. We're predicting a 10% growth, maybe in that area.
Yeah. As you look back at everything you've seen at Power, what's your biggest takeaway?
The industry that they're pushing, just the AI, all the tools that they're giving, that they've created to help us through our quoting process is kind of mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
It's my first time here, and it's pretty impressive with the technology that they have, and they're pushing to just, I guess, make our job easier and quicker.
Can you give me some specific examples of how that's going to happen?
Well, like with their new thing that came out with the bomb builder, right?
Yeah.
You drop in a drawing, and it pretty much creates your bomb for you. The real material is set up, everything is just brought in, all your critical features are highlighted. It just saves so much time going through it manually.
Yeah. Let's say that you were given a $500,000, you and the company, and you had to spend the money by the end of the month. Where would you take that money, and what would you do with it?
Well, in our company, we would need some capital improvement. We would probably get a new CNC type machine, smaller grinding machine is what we're in the market for right now.
Do you have grinding in-house now?
Yes.
And are you looking for more automated with the capital equipment, or what would it replace, or be additional capacity?
Additional capacity. We have some manual grinders that most of our grinders are manual, so we need to get the CNC type in there.
Excellent. Well, Scott, thanks for taking a couple minutes to chat with me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Hernan Ricarte Precision. We're located in Orange County, California, and I'm president of Ricarte Precision.
Hernan, as you and the company look at 2025, what's your outlook? Where are you guys going?
Optimistic but careful. With the tariffs, it's people are talking about recessions, people are talking about inflation. So, from an economic standpoint, the last thing a small company wants is instability. Whether it's good, bad, or whatever, as long as we know the landscape, it makes it easier for us to plan. But for us, because we focus on aerospace-based defense, the market looks good right now, and it looks strong. So we're cautiously optimistic.
You've taken in a lot over the past day and a half. What has been the biggest takeaway from Power?
Gosh, great meeting, well organized as always. AI has been really very important for us, and in seeing where we can capitalize on the technology and of what's coming out, how to integrate all the technologies that we work with and to be as smart as possible, at the same time being cognizant of CUI and CMMC and cybersecurity requirements. So those aspects of this meeting as well were really important for us.
Great. And hopefully this is a fun one for you. You magically had $500,000 drop in your lap, but you had to spend it by the end of the month. Where would you put that money to work?
Are you offering? Wow, my gosh. So that is a difficult question. It's not an easy question. So if there was a magic wand, I would say if there were fantastic programmers, set of machinists, supply chain individuals, and experienced, reliable professionals, I would take that.
You're investing in people then?
Investing in people and training them up. Yes, that would be my first option.
Thanks, Hernan. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Fun. Thanks for listening to the Job Shop Show podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe so future episodes are automatically downloaded directly to your device. You can also leave an honest rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Not only do I read every single one, it also helps me understand what content matters most to you. Thanks again for listening to the Job Shop Show.